99 MVP player that's gonna be coming.
Yeah, facts.
That'll be some. Hopefully that's Mahomes, man. If it's like, watch it be like freaking like
Alvin Kamara.
I'd take that.
So shout out to Alvin Kamara for winning me $1,500. Like,
there you go.
Crap.
Just wanted to say, agreed to split the pot with Scott during the week, and then in that league I have Alvin Kamara, so I'm like, you know what? Maybe I lost out on a little bit. Yeah.
Always go for the kill, dude. You never split the pot. That's the way I look at it. If you lose, you lose. Especially if it's a league where second place gets like multiple buy-ins. If it's like first place gets like $1,000 and second place gets $100, then like split pot, I guess, kind of makes sense from that perspective. But if it's a league where second place gets $300 or something, and that the first place gets $1,000, like, nah, dude, I'm going for the kill shot.
Yeah. Like I think the split in that league was 750 to 150. So it's like, or no, it was 750 or 650 to 150. It was one of those things.
Yeah, I went for the kill.
I'm like, okay. But at that point, I'm just like, I don't know. It was a 50-50 matchup going in. Also, just want to note that in my home league, I have Alvin Kamara. The only problem is I'm playing for the third place game. So pain, because I could have used 55 points last week.
Yeah. Before we get some people in here, do you want to go over some of your biggest discrepancies? I got a couple. Let's just go. What we can like kind of run through as people ask questions and all that kind of stuff. We'll just touch on players. Relevant to this game, because I have gotten a lot of questions relating to Tom Brady. I have Tom Brady at quarterback 3 this week.
I have my quarterback 6, so I'm all the way there with you. He's going to be a really strong start. Speaking of that, real quick, like guys that aren't usually in like the elite tier of fantasy quarterbacks, I got Jalen Hurts as well at 7.
I have Jalen Hurts at 10.
So I mean, we're both high on him.
I mean, I am 5 spots low or 6 spots lower than consensus, dude. Consensus has him at 4.
Okay, 4 is way too high.
That's too high. Like I'm sorry. Like, okay, so we have what a 2-3 week sample size with Jalen Hurts. We have a couple good games, and we have the Cowboys defense, who is bad but has played better than they did earlier in the season. And Jalen Hurts, I can't start Jalen Hurts over Deshaun Watson. I can't start Jalen Hurts over Tom Brady. I can't start Jalen Hurts over Justin Herbert even. Like, I can't start him over these guys that we've seen do it all season, especially for someone like Brady, who hasn't necessarily done it all season, but in great matchups, Brady has been very good. And this is as good of a matchup as he's going to face all season.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm excited. So let's get into a few of these. Speaking of Brady or Herbert, we both actually have Brady over
Herbert. I am personally playing Brady over Herbert in one of my leagues.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Yo, what's up, Josh? We got Jorge. Kamara literally just won a bunch of people championships,
including myself. And okay, so I'm in 2 championships, and I talked about it on the Start Sit show. I should have been in 3 because I needed 4 points from Eric Ebron on Monday night, and he went down with an injury. So I should have been in 3 championships, but I was in 2. And in one, which is a lot of money for the final winner, I had Kamara in. So I'm very happy about that. The other is our listener league, and it's a 120 to 240 split, right? First and second.
Yeah.
So I played Kamara in that one, but I still get 120 if I lose, and I'd much rather win the thousands of dollars that I'm going to win in the other one. So,
and that's similar to me. Like, again, like I made 4 semifinals. I made 2 championships. The one league, I also had Kamara. I lost in, so that's the 3rd place league. But in the 2 championships, I have Kamara. Like, for example, in Scott's Tots, I'm playing Sexy Pats. My team has been depleted all year due to injury. And if I still end up winning, missing McCaffrey, Dak, Blake, like all these freaking guys over the course of the year, because Kamara dropped 55 in the championship, that'll be pretty damn special.
You know what's going to be pretty special? The league I have Kamara in.
Yeah.
I lost Rojo this week. I lost CEH this week. And I'm probably going to lose Tony Pollard in terms of like his role. Like, it's probably Zeke's going to come back. So if I win the championship down, like imagine saying, okay, 3 of the running backs that you could like definitely could have started are going to be out. I'm left with JK, Alvin, who just performed enough for all of my running backs combined. But I have just JK Dobbins left, and I might play Tony Pollard, to be honest, even if Zeke plays. Because my other option is against
Scott. I'm playing Tony Pollard against Scott. Even if Zeke plays, like, then again, it's a super, like there's like 4 flexes, 2 super flexes, quarterback spot, 2 receivers. Like, it's a deep league.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting Pollard over Zeke. Like I have both of them, and I'm starting Pollard over Zeke, even if Zeke plays. Because the way I look at it,
he could be limited to some degree. I hope we hear something like that, where it's like, oh yeah, Zeke's coming back, but he's not going to get his full workload. That's music to my ear. That's music to my ears. Like I want to hear that.
Hopefully, Ruben, what up? What up, Ruben? Chris Carson or Brandon Cooks? This is a real close one in my opinion. Again, like I don't think Carson.
I tend to lean running back, so I think I would go with Chris Carson. But the matchup is just awful.
That's what I was about to say. I would go Carson due to the security. I don't expect a lot because it's still a really tough matchup, but this is still a 15 to 18 type touchback. And regardless, yes, the Rams defense is fantastic, but the Seattle offense is going to get theirs regardless because they're a talented enough team to be able to move the ball on anyone. I mean, Russell Wilson is a top 3 quarterback in the league regardless. So.
They have been struggling recently. And to be fair, too, if Brandon Cooks had a better matchup, I would say play Brandon Cooks. But Brandon Cooks is actually not in a good matchup. He has William Jackson in shadow coverage. And the Bengals corners and defense as a whole has been pretty good. They've actually allowed the least amount of fantasy points to the quarterback position over the past 5 weeks. So I know everyone's like, oh, yes, Deshaun Watson gets the Bengals this week and Brandon Cooks get the Bengals this week. But they've actually not been that bad on defense.
Yep. PPR pick 1, Ayuk, Woods, Evans. If you want to know how close this is, I currently have Ayuk at 11, Woods at 12, and Evans at 14. So I would go Ayuk, but like they're literally basically all in a row.
I have Mike Evans at 10, who's the highest of those guys. I have Brandon Ayuk at 11 and Woods at 13. So they are very close for me as well. But I have Mike Evans, who I'm wearing his jersey right now, and he's kind of been unlucky, low-key. I don't know why I'm wearing this because every time I've worn this jersey, we've lost. But I have Mike Evans the highest. I think in PPR, I definitely give the edge to Robert Woods a little bit more because
Ayuk too, man.
Yeah, and Ayuk, over Evans because Evans isn't going to catch as many passes as Ayuk and Woods would. So, I mean, I think I would lead Brandon Ayuk in a full PPR because I would have him the highest out of those guys. But Mike Evans he could have a monster game. If you need a ceiling, Mike Evans could have like 2 long touchdowns in this game.
No, and I've talked about it before as well, but I'm actually curious to see, again, Kittle's expected to play in this game. I'm actually curious to see what the dynamic is of the 49ers offense with Kittle back because we've seen the way it's operated without him. But regardless, like I'm willing to take that type of quote unquote risk because Ayuk is just playing way too well to even sit him in any.
I'm honestly okay with Kittle playing because so Patrick Peterson is probably going to be on Brandon Ayuk, right? But George Kittle being there like takes the attention away for the defense, right? Because George Kittle is like Brandon Ayuk's a great player, but George Kittle is the most talented offensive weapon in the league potentially. Like,
honestly, yeah.
Like other than maybe Tyreek Hill and like Christian McCaffrey when he's healthy, like can you think of a more
I mean, like
a bigger like we need to game plan against this guy than George Kittle? Like, that's going to open things up for Ayuk. And sure, he might not get 16 targets with George Kittle on the field, but if he gets 11 targets, those 11 targets will probably be more
8 for 95 and a touchdown.
Yeah, like they'll probably be more valuable. The offense will probably move more. He has more opportunity for red zone touchdowns and stuff like that. And Ayuk has been used in the red zone, so that's a big deal for him. George Kittle being on the field can only benefit Ayuk, in my opinion. Samuel is maybe a different story, but Ayuk or George Kittle being on the field opens up that entire offense.
Fully. All right, let's get into some more questions. Tight end PPR, Logan Thomas, Tonyan, or Kittle. I'm going Kittle regardless. I know, don't get me wrong, Tonyan and Thomas have been 2 of the top 6 or 7 performers at the position all year.
Tonyan's so close, man. I don't think I would consider playing Thomas over Kittle, but Tonyan has been good enough this year that he's like, okay, so George Kittle is an auto start when he's healthy, right? We assume he's healthy right now, but Robert Tonyan has just been that next tier down of tight ends, like in terms of the production you're getting out of him and the touchdown upside that Robert Tonyan has. It'd be really hard for me to sit Robert Tonyan the way he's played this year, but I think George Kittle is the one exception to that rule, and I think I probably would sit George Kittle for him. Or sorry, sit Tonyan for George Kittle.
Yeah, like for the record, I have Kittle still at 3. Like the only 2 I'm starting over him are Kelce and Waller.
I have Kittle at 4. I would start Andrews over him too.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. Speaking of Kittle or Hawk, I'm going Kittle. I love Hawk. Hawk has been good this year, but Kittle's sheer upside when he is on the field is worth him playing. Like we've seen what Hawk's upside is. Okay, maybe he scores 12 to 14 half PPR points. Let's just say hypothetically, that's like a good ceiling play for Hawkinson. Kittle should get that basically in his sleep if he plays. Like Kittle's ceiling is like we've seen it 30 points, Like this guy can go off for 185 and 2 touchdowns. Like he's that type of talent at the position. He's used at that frequency in that offense. So although Hawkinson is a quote unquote safer play because he's not dealing with the injuries that we've seen from Kittle, at that given upside that Kittle brings, there's no way I consider him for Hawkinson.
And speaking to the Hawkinson side of things too, as the matchup for him is, it's good, but there's also a potential that the Lions just get absolutely rolled in this game.
Yeah.
Like there's a chance, like I'm not going to come out here and say that my team's defense is the best in the league, but when they're on, you saw it in that second half against the Falcons, when they actually play well and they're game planning well, which this is a type of game that they could execute that against an offense that has like their interim coach calling plays. There's a chance that Hawkinson and the Lions offense just gets shut down in this one because they're just getting overwhelmed and they just like honestly play backups by the like fourth quarter. Like there's a chance that happens. I don't think that's going to be the case, but there is that outside shot, and that's enough for me to lean someone like Kittle over Hawkinson.
For sure. Bernard or James Robinson, just want to touch up upon this. James Robinson is not expected to play this week against the Chicago Bears. So that answers Bernard regardless. And especially in a full PPR, again, like we saw last week in a terrible matchup, Bernard did solid. Again, maybe it's a fluke, maybe not. Pittsburgh's been playing bad whatsoever. Who cares? At the same time, the way I look at it, they're still playing the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans, I could be at running back and I could have a solid fantasy football day. That's how bad and atrocious they are as a defense against opposing running backs. So although Bernard's been inconsistent lately, I actually do trust the workload in this one because I think the Texans aren't too much better as a team than the Bengals, in all honesty. Like I think this is going to be a competitive down to the wire type game.
Yeah, I do too.
So, and there you go.
Yeah, so Eric Ebron, I guess whenever we answered that question for you, there was I don't know if we would have said that though, because Eric Ebron has had health questions all week. I think maybe we said probably if Ebron's healthy, you play him, which I probably still would stand by that because the process was there. Yeah, Irv Smith caught 2 touchdowns, but the Saints have been pretty good against tight ends for a while now. They were bad against them early in the season, but they've been pretty good against tight ends for a while now. And Tyler Conklin was showing his ugly head like for a while with Irv Smith on the field. So I stand by the process. Irv Smith just caught 2 touchdowns.
And don't worry, we would have told you to start Kamara regardless.
But I even then, having known Ebron's health situation, I don't think he's going to play, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
So we would have said Irv Smith, like, I don't know, whenever we would have answered that.
Yeah. And by the way, I played Akers over Woods and cost myself pain. Yeah, that's
didn't I tell him to play Woods? I told him to play Woods, didn't I?
Okay.
I did tell him to play Woods.
Yeah, settle down.
I did because we were like talking about it. I'm like, I think if I got the balls, I'd play Woods, man. I think he's got the better matchup.
Sure. The dreaded kicker question: should I stick with the goat coup or just where? Just you gotta start the young goat, bro. You gotta start.
I think I don't play in any leagues with the kicker, so I'm not really hip to the kicker scene. But as I understand it, Koo is a must start right now. Yeah, and I'm actually kind of curious where Suck Up ranks in terms of kickers, just because he's the best kicker the Bucs have had in 15 years. Like he doesn't miss. Knock on wood.
James Robinson, if he plays, or Brandon Cooks. First of all, I don't expect James Robinson to play, but if he does play, I'm starting him over Cooks because we've seen the volatility with Cooks. But I just don't expect him to play regardless, so I don't think you're gonna have to make that decision.
Yeah.
Stafford, Trubisky, Tua for my QB2 behind Mahomes. Also in standard league, do I play Hawkinson or Andrews? So the first part of that question, I believe I actually have Stafford ranked the highest right now. Let me just double check. I have Stafford at 13.
Trubisky, I have Stafford at 12.
Yeah. I have Stafford at 13, Trubisky at 16, and Tua at 18.
Yeah, I have Stafford at 12, Trubisky at 13, and Tua at 16. So I actually would go Stafford. As I said, there's a 20% chance that the Bucs absolutely roll the Lions in this game. And there's probably also a 10% chance that Stafford re-injures himself and has to leave this game. But Matt Stafford, based on the matchup that the Bucs have been against the fantasy quarterback position over the past 5 weeks, this is a good matchup. And Carlton Davis is not playing in this game. Likely. I don't know if we have official word on that yet, but he was doubtful going into this game, and I don't think he's going to play. So that's a good matchup for Marvin Jones. That opens up things for Danny Amendola and all those guys. I think this is a game that the Lions can put up points in because the Bucs defense is without their best corner. And I know this Sean Murphy Bunting last year, he played really well in this game because I was at the Lions game last year and I would have been at this game had COVID not been a thing.
Is
but
it in Detroit or in Tampa?
Huh?
It's in Detroit again.
It's in Detroit, yeah.
Back-to-back years, eh?
Sean Murphy Bunting housed a pick 6 to win this game for us last year. But I don't think he's going to play well in this game because he hasn't been playing well all season. So if he's starting outside corner opposite Jamel Dean, whoever's on him is going to do well.
Yep. Need help. Must survive the Kamara 60. Oh, man.
Oh, by the way, Danny Amendola is a smash play in DFS, by the way. If you're playing a DFS slate, Danny Amendola, get him in your lineup. I'm telling you right now. Thank me later. I almost won like thousands of dollars last night.
How much did you win?
I won for $45, but I was in I think I finished like 281 in the Merry Million or whatever, like number 281. And if Jefferson catches that slant on the goal line where they threw a slant, and then also if he caught the 2-point conversion,
and the fade.
Yeah, if he catches, he has a slant and a fade. First down, he had the slant route. Third down, he had the fade route. If he catches one of those, I had Cousins and Jefferson instead of Thielen, who ended up doing well. I would have been in the top 50, guaranteed.
Damn.
And that would have been thousands of dollars, potentially even like first place.
I'm going to quickly get my water. Actually, I'll answer the question first. I have a couple water bottles, but let's answer the question. Out of those options, I'm absolutely playing Gaskin if he plays.
Yeah, he has definitely the most upside out of those.
If Gaskin doesn't play, I'm going with Rashard Higgins.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to get my water bottle. 1 second.
Yeah, no worries. All right, Moneybag says Godwin or Marvin Jones. Oof, that's a tough question, dude. I have them like so close to each other. I think I'd actually lean Marvin Jones slightly just because of what I said. With Carlton Davis not in the lineup, Marvin Jones is not going to be shadowed by him, for one. And two, Marvin Jones has a significantly better matchup because Jamel Dean has played well, but Carlton Davis is by far the best cover man on this team. And him not playing is a huge deal for Marvin Jones. And Chris Godwin, you got to think the Tampa offense, there's so many guys you got to compete with to get targets and volume and touchdowns and all that kind of stuff. Chris Godwin, while he's a big part of this offense, has a good chance that Mike Evans catches 2 touchdowns in this game and Antonio Brown catches a touchdown and Rob Gronkowski gets 11 targets or something. Like there's a chance that Godwin just gets phased out because there's so many other options. Whereas Marvin Jones is far safer from that because it's really only him, TJ Hawkinson, and DeAndre Swift.
That's fair. I personally would go with Godwin here, but
scoring format might contribute a little bit too. If it was a full PPR, I think I might lean Godwin a little bit more, but I think honestly I would play Marvin Jones regardless.
That's fair. I have Godwin pretty good.
They're so close in my rankings. I have Jones at 20 and Godwin at 22. They're very close.
Really? Yeah. I have Godwin a good amount higher. I have him at like 15.
I have Evans at 10. So I'm assuming this is the Evans game.
Fair.
Plus, another thing to keep in mind with Mike Evans is that he needs, I think it's 220 receiving yards to be the first player in NFL history to start his career with 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He's currently tied with Randy Moss as the only 2 players to do it for 6 straight years of their to start their careers. And the coaching staff has been asked questions about it all week, being like, "Yo, we need to get Mike Evans to 1,000 yards, basically." And I think they're going to come out with a game plan that's specifically designed to get Mike Evans the ball.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so if Robinson plays, he's like the auto lock here. And then for the other one, it actually have to come down to who's playing. Like
if Pollard is alone in the backfield, I think I would even play him over Robinson, to be honest. Pollard and Robinson would be the 2 locks if they all play. If Robinson doesn't play and Zeke does, I would go with probably Gaskin. I can't decide between the 2 Cowboys running backs, man, if they're both playing.
I'd play Pollard, man. That's crazy.
You think you'd play Pollard over Zeke if they're both playing?
I don't think he's gonna get many touches, but 12 Pollard touches is more upside than
that's fair
20 Zeke touches.
So Danny would go. I don't know if I got the balls to do that. I think I'd play Zeke if he plays instead of Pollard, but I can 100% see a scenario where he outscores him. I am not denying that. I think the opportunity for a touchdown is there for Zeke though, and that's all you kind of really need out of him. But Gaskin would be a lock in my lineup. This is just a really confusing question, to be honest, because there's so many factors that play into this. I'd probably come back and ask this question tomorrow morning when we know more information. But as it stands right now, with what's looking like is likely to happen, I think I would go with Elliott and Gaskin because I think Elliott's going to play and Robinson is not going to play.
I'd go with Pollard and Gaskin.
Yeah.
With Kittle, you're not worried about the snap count? Question mark.
Have they said anything specifically relating to him being on a pitch count?
No. But even if he's on a pitch count, the snaps that he would play are going to be the valuable snaps, the snaps that they need him to make an impact. So even if he's on a quote unquote snap count, the upside that he brings is so undeniable, especially at a tight end at a position as bad as the tight end position. You need a guy that can change your matchup, and Kittle's one of the few that can.
Especially if you played Kamara yesterday, you need Kittle.
Oh yes. Just lucky, 100% ownership in my championship games that I'm in. I have him in both of them.
I mean, it's 100. He was 100% played in the championship games that I'm in, but I played him in one of them, so that wasn't fun.
Pain. What team are you guys a fan of? So he's a fan of the Bucks, and I'm a fan of my Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully we lose today and get ahead of Philly in that draft order. You guys
he's busting our balls a little bit.
Yeah, no, I'm messing with him. Monier, flex, full PPR, Kittle, Godwin, or Drake, Hurts or Rodgers, Browns or Rams defense. Okay.
Godwin's where I draw the line with Kittle. I wouldn't play Kittle over Godwin.
No, me neither. Drake or Godwin? I'd go Godwin there.
In a full PPR, I would 100% go Godwin. Yeah. I think in a standard, it would be probably Drake because he has a better chance at a touchdown. But Godwin in a full PPR is definitely the play there. And I think, let's see, I knew we were going to get questions like this. This is why I have Hurts ranked lower than consensus.
Rodgers.
I have Hurts at 9, or sorry, I have Hurts at 10.
I have him at 7.
And Aaron Rodgers, my QB 1. So I'm not sitting Aaron Rodgers. I would play Aaron Rodgers 10 times out of 10 over Jalen Hurts. And then the Browns defense against the Jets, Rams defense against the Seahawks. I would go with the Browns defense against the Jets because they're the Jets.
And then I'd go with my boy Greg the Leg there. They're going to try to win this game, and it's going to make me sick.
I would go with Daniel Carlson just because the Cowboys tend to screw up things, special teams related. So I'll go with Daniel Carlson.
Y'all think Gibson suits? ? Answer: no, I don't think he does.
I don't think he does. A lot of the fantasy doctors have expressed concern about him coming back. I think if you're Washington, you are going to make the playoffs likely. So I think what you need to do is just try and win these last 2 games with J.D. McKissic as your running back, and then get Gibson back for the playoffs fully healthy.
Yep, agreed.
Wait, he said he has other questions. Between Godwin, Gaskin, Henderson, or Jeff Wilson, who do you guys like more? All the same league PPR. So if you can only pick one, I would go with Godwin.
Yep.
In a full PPR. If you can pick 2, I would probably go with the first 2 with Godwin and Gaskin.
Godwin and Jeff Wilson would probably be mine.
I would play Gaskin over Jeff Wilson, I think.
Assuming that Mostert's out, I would have a tough time sitting Wilson. I'm so nervous. Who would you sit between Godwin, Woods, and David Johnson? I'd sit David Johnson there.
I would too, I think. I'm probably going to need to know the scoring format, to be honest.
Like, if it's a full PPR, I'm definitely dropping Johnson.
David Johnson. Yeah, I know David Johnson got 11 targets last week, but I don't think that's going to happen again. I think he'll probably get some involvement in the passing game, but it's probably very good odds that Godwin catches more passes than David Johnson. And this game is the Buccaneers have a 31.5 implied point total in terms of their betting line or something like that, or it's maybe even more than that. So anytime a team's going to score over 30 points, you want pieces of their offense. And there's a chance that Godwin doesn't do much because the other guys do much, but there's also a chance that Godwin catches 2 touchdowns too.
Yep. I think Godwin's going to eat this game, for the record.
Yeah, there's a good chance he could.
Need one. I know Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, I was going to say, I know Jalen Ramsey really limited him last matchup. I can't sit Metcalf.
If you had a receiver in a tier above Godwin and Corey Davis, I don't know. I'm trying to see who's
Diggs, Keenan Allen.
If you had someone like that, even I think I'd even play Robert Woods over Metcalf, to be honest.
AJ Brown
or Mike Evans or something like that. If you had Mike Evans instead of Chris Godwin, I think I would play Mike Evans over Metcalf. But I think it's honestly just too cute to play any of those guys over Metcalf, even though Godwin's situation is good. Metcalf, he's got shadow coverage from Jalen Ramsey, but he also wiped the floor with Stephon Gilmore early in the season, right? It's just something that with Metcalf, you have to take the chance that he catches 2 long bomb touchdowns because he can do it on anyone.
For sure. Also, for the second part of the question, I'm going with Mark Andrews there.
Yep.
Also for that decision, I don't know what caused so much volume for Johnson, but if that happens again, I'd love it. Yeah, that would be fun.
In terms of his rushing volume, I think, and it's also a big deal if Duke Johnson plays in this game, which I'm not exactly certain on the status, because anytime that Duke Johnson has been out of the lineup, David Johnson has seen a significant uptick in his snaps and receiving work and all that kind of stuff, because for whatever reason, they just like using Duke Johnson on third down. And David Johnson's volume is almost second in like 5 other running backs in the NFL when Duke Johnson is out of the lineup. So it actually is a big deal if Duke is playing or not.
Yep, agreed. For this question, it's I'm actually making this decision in my third place game in my home league. It's Lamar Jackson.
It's Lamar.
Is that because you packed his autograph jersey?
Yeah.
There it is. Full PPR, Hunt, Johnson, Jacobs, Bell, pick 3. I'm sitting Hunt here, and it's not really close for me.
Yeah, assuming that's David Johnson. Yeah, it's definitely Hunt.
Yep. I don't know what to do here. I have Kyler versus the Niners or Baker versus the Jets. Baker and Kyler. Yeah. I know you got a Heisman decision there, Oklahoma Heisman decision, but you gotta play Kyler Murray. I know Baker Mayfield has a great matchup. I love Baker Mayfield this week. I have a QB 11, which means I'd play 10 other quarterbacks ahead of him. That's you can't play a guy like Baker Mayfield over Kyler Murray. You just can't do it. I have Kyler as quarterback 3, so
Baker is a streaming quarterback, not an every week starter like Kyler Murray.
And I would have absolutely no problem starting Corey Davis beside AJ Brown. Heck, I have AJ Brown at 10, I believe, right now, as I mentioned. And
I'm at 7.
I have a 9. I have a 9. I also have Corey Davis at 17. So
I have Corey Davis at 24, and I talked about why. If you guys saw my tweet relating to Jair Alexander, what they've been doing with him since week 7 or so is they've been using Kevin King on opposing number 1s and then bracketing him with Darnell Savage or whatever safety they choose to, and then they're putting Jair Alexander on the opposing team's number 2 receiver. So Corey Davis is expected to see the primary matchup of Jair Alexander, which is why I have him downgraded from where I would normally have him. And AJ Brown a little bit more upticked than where I probably would have had him if we got word that there was a shadow matchup between AJ Brown and Jair Alexander.
That's fair. Would you start Jeff Wilson over Rob? I would need to know what Robinson that is.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's James Robinson.
James, yeah.
If it's Allen Robinson, no. If it's James Robinson, I think yes, because I don't think James Robinson is going to play. But if James Robinson is on the field, and we don't hear any word that he's limited or anything, he has a high ankle sprain though, which is not good. I don't know why he'd be playing on a 1-14 team or whatever the record is right now for a team trying to get the number 1 overall pick. Just rest the rookie, man. I don't know why he needs to play right now. I would not be playing James Robinson if I was the Jags.
Agreed. Also, can you wait until we're able to get DJ Chark late round 6 with Trevor Lawrence as a quarterback next year?
You think that's going to be a thing?
He'll probably be his ADP will probably in the 6th because people are going to have a sour taste in their mouth off of this year. Yeah,
there's a chance they add another receiver too. I think
I'm fine with that if that brings the narrative down and he falls even more.
Chark with if you look at DJ, air yards is the classic argument that no one cares about because sometimes Curtis Samuel was the league leader in air yards one year or whatever it was, but man, DJ Chark gets 10 targets a game and they're all downfield. If he has Trevor Lawrence and Trevor Lawrence is the deep passer, the prospect that we think he can be, DJ Chark could be the next Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, he could be a 1,300-yard, 10-touchdown type receiver.
Yeah, which is what Tyreek Hill is basically.
Yeah.
Except add 8 more touchdowns.
And he's a typical guy that I think me and you are both going to fall in love with this upcoming offseason.
I love ceiling at receivers. I don't like floor receivers. I love ceiling.
Give me guys that can win my league. Give me
and not even my league, just my week. I like guys who can win my week, which is what DJ Chark has proven numerous times this season alone.
Yeah, that's fair. Let's get into some
tight end. This is a tight end problem here. Higbee, Komet, Jonnu Smith, and Jordan Akins. It comes down to Komet and Smith for me.
Yeah.
But I think I would go with Jonnu Smith. And the reason is because it's relating to the Corey Davis thing that I talked about. We've seen the splits with Jonnu Smith and Corey Davis. When Corey Davis was hurt early in the year, Jonnu Smith was the tight end 1. Literally. He was the tight end 1 in fantasy. And I think Jonnu Smith with Corey Davis likely to have a tough matchup has a good chance of catching a couple balls here and potentially a touchdown as well. So I would go Jonnu Smith over Cole Kmet.
For sure. Also, going into this next one, first of all, I would also go Jonnu as well. He says, should I have Jonathan Taylor in against the Steelers? I have Bernard, Jacobs, Davis in the flex. Jonathan Taylor is a top 10 running back for me. I know the matchup is tough. I fully understand that.
It's also easier now. By the way, for those of you who are the Steelers matchup is death sentence, it's gotten easier for running backs because they lost Bud Dupree, they lost Devin Bush, they lost Vince Williams, they lost a couple pieces on their defense, so that it's still a bad matchup. It's still a top 5, top 6 run defense, but it's not them and the Buccaneers, you never play your running backs against. Like, it's not that bad of a matchup anymore to the point that you need to be starting. And I know Josh Jacobs was good last week, but Miami's a better run defense than Los Angeles. Los Angeles is like one of the worst run defenses in the league in terms of DVOA. So I would comfortably start Jonathan Taylor in this game and don't think twice about it.
Talk about it right now, okay? Even if the Steelers were the death sentence they were earlier this season, okay? They're not that anymore, but even if they were, Jonathan Taylor across these last few weeks has just been ridiculous. Like this last month in particular, these last 4 weeks when he's been really popping off, he's had a 37% forced missed tackle rate, highest in the league amongst running
Which
backs.
is crazy because he was like dead last earlier in the season.
He went from not breaking any tackles, not forcing any misses in the first 12 weeks of the season to all of a sudden, like
he went from Mark Ingram to Nick Chubb, literally
in the span of basically like 2 weeks.
Which is wild. And of those running backs that you have there, I didn't even notice that part of the question. I would start Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, and Mike Davis. I would sit Gio Bernard. I know he had a good game last week, but he is the riskiest of those guys.
I would agree there. I think I have Bernard higher than you, but I also have Davis higher than you. So those even out. I
have Davis currently at 23 and Bernard at 26. So it's relatively close for me, but
I have Davis at 15 and Bernard at 23.
Oh, wow. So you do have Davis a lot higher than me.
Yeah. Is Rojo out? He's expected.
Yeah, he's out.
Has he got officially ruled out?
Yep.
Okay. There you go. Steelers defense or Cardinals? I'm going Steelers defense.
Yeah, I don't care what the Steelers defense is playing. I know they're not as good as I just went on a rant saying how they're not as good as they used to be, but they're still better than the Cardinals defense. So I'll go with the Steelers.
For sure. I agree there. Ayuk dropping in value with Kittle? Not necessarily.
His volume might drop a little bit, but no, I don't think his value drops because I think the volume and efficiency thing, sometimes it's more volume equals more efficiency, more volume equals less efficiency. But sometimes when the offense gets better, which is what George Kittle does for that offense, Brandon Ayuk's plays become like the game becomes opened up for CJ Beathard. He's able to find Brandon Ayuk easier. The defense is focused on George Kittle, so maybe there's a tackler out of position because he's trying to keep an eye on Kittle for a play, and then that equals Brandon Ayuk being able to run off a big play after the catch, which we know Brandon Ayuk is capable of doing.
Or we see freaking George Kittle running a deep end, safety drops down, and Ayuk can get past him on the
exactly, yeah, like that, all that kind of stuff. I know everyone likes to focus on like target volume and which is all important and all that kind of stuff, but being that I know, Danny, you played football when you were younger, like you focus on the best player on the field, whether you're in Pee Wee football, whether you're in the NFL. That's just how defenses work. Defensive coordinators go into game plans against the San Francisco 49ers trying to stop George Kittle. That is what they do.
Yeah, like for example, again, like obviously in the NFL, it's lessened to a degree because these linebackers are just as fast as these running backs. But in high school in particular, you always have this one running back that's just by far the best athlete on the field, probably the best player on the field, and you're always going to take your cheese steps in. So if in high school, I don't know why they don't run basically play action as most of their passes because plain and simple, there's these running backs that will literally.
We did a lot because our best player was our running back, as it usually is for most high schools, and our quarterback was our second best player. So we had to play action on a lot of plays because our running back and our quarterback was fast too. Like he rolled out boots a lot. Yeah, and he plays at UW right now.
Oh damn, yeah. It's fun though. Like I miss that type of shit. You're going into a game, you know that you're playing some beast on the other side that can take a game over, and like, okay, bet you could take a game over. Well, not this game.
Yeah,
but whoever's played football can understand that correlation there.
Yeah.
Had a pretty successful year. 2 out of 3 teams in the playoffs went to the semis. Is there any way around drafting a bad team? I hope that Stafford Holiday would have.
Yeah. So okay, sorry, I kind of have some thoughts on this. So when it comes to your draft, there's going to be players in your league that make no moves, right? They draft their team, they pick up a couple guys off waivers, and that's their team for the year. They won't trade anyone. They won't do that kind of stuff. And then there's people like me and Danny who, here's my first 4 picks in my fantasy draft. I picked CEH number 6 overall, which clearly didn't work out. I picked Aaron Jones in the second round, who I later traded for a huge upgrade. I picked DJ Moore in the 3rd round, who I also traded because he was bad at the beginning of the season. And I got Robert Woods in the 4th round. Those 4 picks, I should not be about to win my fantasy championship based on those 4 picks, is my point, basically. And the reason I was able to do that was because I took Aaron Jones off of his 40-point game, and I sold him for A.J. Brown and Joe Mixon. I took Joe Mixon off of his 40-point game, and I sold him plus Antonio Gibson for Alvin Kamara, who just basically won me my championship. It's all about projecting forward and making moves to improve your team. And like for most teams, I just lost CEH, Rojo, and probably Tony Pollard as well in my fantasy championship. That is a death sentence to most teams. If you can build depth and you can build a team around everyone and you're constantly looking to upgrade, you're never satisfied. That's how you win a championship. It's not about being like, okay, I drafted a great team and I won week 1. I'm good for the rest of the season. Like a lot of people do think like that.
Yeah.
And that's not the way you win your fantasy championship. The way around, basically getting back to your question, is how do you get around drafting a bad team? It's by being a very active owner and constantly looking to upgrade. Again. And when you have a 40-point performance from someone, I would say it's almost always in your best interest to sell them off of that 40-point performance, unless it's like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. Again, talking about it, sorry to make the little cheesy quote unquote cliche here, but fantasy football is like a stock exchange, man. You got to understand when your peak values are and know when to capitalize on them. If somebody has a 40-point week and okay, realistically, like Aaron Jones, if you sold him again off that 40-point week, this guy on typical weeks and let's say half PPR is probably going to get you between 12 and 17.
Which he was, and I don't want to make this a thing of being like, oh, you have to sell someone on a 40-point week because sometimes you just have a league winner on your hands and you don't want to sell them. But there's also it comes with playing fantasy for a long time to know if it's an anomaly or not kind of thing, if that makes any sense. And not only that, but you don't want it. Sometimes you're going to be making trades and fielding offers and all that kind of stuff. And don't make trades just to make trades, obviously. But when you have an offer that is in your best interest to improve your team and win your championship, because you start with your starting lineup, right? You want the best starting lineup you possibly can get, but then you also want 2 or 3 or maybe 4 guys that you can swap in case you have a late injury. So it's really all just about making pickups and making trades in your best interest and all that kind of stuff. And all that kind of stuff can get you out of a bad draft.
Yeah. Like small increments of value in each trade can eventually turn into a huge profit. So
exactly. It took me 3 trades to get Alvin Kamara. It involved 3 separate trades to get the pieces that I needed to get Alvin Kamara. And Alvin Kamara just probably won me my championship. I'm knock on wood, so I don't lose that game, but there's a good chance I'm going to win based on a 57 point performance is probably going to win you a championship.
Yeah, for sure. And it just sucks because, yes, I did make 2 championship games, but in my home league, unfortunately lost in the semifinal. I have Alvin Kamara. So that 55 points would have been nice last week, but hey, I'll take the money back. Third place gets money back. I have my money back. I'm getting Michael Thomas back for a keeper. I'll have Alvin Kamara for a keeper. And then my rookie keeper is going to be Jonathan Taylor going into next year. So I like the way that team's going to be built. Just add some pieces throughout that draft, and I think I got another championship contender on my hands.
Long-winded way of answering your question, but the bottom line is you don't win your team at the draft, or you don't win your league at the draft, and very rarely do you.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like unless you draft, like your first 3 picks need to be absolute league winners to win your league at your draft, basically.
Yeah. Yep. Facts. Couldn't recover from that. Also had Mostert and Jacobs. Oof. A lot of injury problems.
Yeah. Sometimes it gets to a point where you're like, I can't even recover from this unless you just get so lucky on the waiver wire with like great pickups, like I don't know, like
Wayne Gallman,
Corey Davis and Brandon Ayuk and
Mike Davis too.
Yeah, Mike Davis, J.D. McKissick, like some of those guys. Like I was able to in our listener league, I drafted Jonathan Taylor, Mark Ingram, and Austin Ekeler as my first 3 running backs. Jonathan Taylor was terrible for the first while. Austin Ekeler was injured and Mark Ingram is terrible. So I was able to make the championship with all those guys being injured. And that was honestly just on the back of picking up guys like Salvin Ahmed and Mike Davis and JD McKissick and guys that I was able to just supplement running back production from because I had Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs and Darren Waller and Justin Herbert.
Yeah. Do you remember by accident, I meant to bid on Wayne Gallman or something like that. And I ended up bidding like all my budget on freaking Dion Lewis by accident because I wasn't paying attention in that league.
Yeah, I do actually. I do remember that.
Yeah, and if I had Wayne Gallman, maybe I would have made it further. Actually, I think what ended up happening, I got Lewis, and then a couple weeks later, someone dropped Gallman when they're on their bye, and then I picked them up afterwards. But if I had him for those other 2 weeks, maybe I have a better playoff position. Anyways, long-winded story, but don't pick first overall. I guess I don't know what the judge is. I'm upset because I was so happy when I got C-Mac on draft day. pain.
Did we go through Josh's question there?
Oh, sorry about that. All right, guys, I got to. So I start Gibson, Robinson, or Davis. Swift already a lock. Agree with that.
To be honest, I think Davis is the only one that plays out of those guys.
Same.
So if they all play, let's assume they all play. Is Gibson the first one you play? I think I play Robinson over Gibson, to be honest. They're both coming out. Fuck, that's hard. If they all three of those guys play, I would play them in that order. But I think Davis is the only one that plays, to be honest.
Yep, same. I have a terrible feeling Wilson's gonna end up crazy on my bench. LMAO. Who are you starting over him?
I mean, Jeff Wilson. To me, Jeff Wilson is a back end RB2 in my opinion. I wouldn't be starting him over great options. Like, I think there's a lot of options that you don't start over Jeff Wilson. Just because Raheem Mostert's out, I don't think they're just going to be like, okay, Jeff Wilson, you get an 80% snap share. Like, Kyle Shanahan's never been like that. I think he's going to give Jeff Wilson his same role plus a normal, like an uptick of some kind, and then Tevin Coleman and Jerick McKinnon are going to be involved to some degree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Wilson, Connor, Hollywood, Antonio, Corey Davis, Gus Bus. I need running back and receiver and a flex. Okay, so your receiver and your back. Wilson's your running back, and then I would say your receiver and your flex is probably going to be AB and Corey Davis.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Ayuk or Lockett. Ayuk, not really close for me personally.
Yeah, I have Lockett at wide receiver 26, and I'm significantly higher than consensus on him. And the only reason I have him at 26, because he doesn't deserve to be there based on how he's played recently, is because Jalen Ramsey's on Metcalf, and Tyler Lockett has Troy Hill in the slot. And the slot receiver traditionally this season has been the best receiver to be playing against the Rams defense, because Darius Williams and Jalen Ramsey on the outside have both been like all pro caliber corners.
Yeah. I agree there. Gents, need 2 running backs between Hunt, Gaskin, and Henderson, and need a flex between T.Y., QD, and Kittle, or any of the above. Thanks.
Okay, so you could use the running backs if we needed to in the flex.
Okay, if Gaskin plays, I'm starting him. If
not, he's a lock.
If not, I'm starting Henderson. If Gaskin doesn't play, I'll start.
Is Akers 100% out? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Gaskin and Henderson, I think, are the 2 running backs.
He needs 2 running backs. Yeah. Okay, then that's the case. Obviously, if Gaskin's out, you start Hunt and Henderson.
Would you start Hunt over Ty? Hunt over Kittle, because that's who it's between to me. I don't think I would start. I think I would start Kittle over Ty.
I'm starting Kittle, but I'd also need to know who his tight end is right now, because if you don't have Waller or Kelce, Kittle's going to go in.
Or Andrews, in my opinion. I personally would play Andrews over Kittle, but I guess maybe you differ there. But yeah, Kittle I think is your best option for your flex there.
Yep, and he also said
full PPR too. Yeah, I think that helps Kittle even more.
Pick 2 full PPR: Swift, Gibson, Fournette. Well, I don't think Gibson plays, so there's your answer. It's Swift and Fournette.
Yeah, what Gibson do you do with Gibson? Well, I guess you're not going to be able to make that decision, to be honest. You can't even afford to wait for Gibson because both Swift and Fournette play today. So I think you gotta play Swift and Fournette.
Yeah, I agreed. Sick Gibson. Flex, Swift, Kittle. Well, I don't have to read the rest because that's all Swift. So that's the answer. It's Swift.
If Zeke doesn't play, I'd play Pollard over Swift.
Oh, if Zeke does, yeah, but he can't even make that decision because
that's true. Yeah.
I think Zeke's gonna play, so I'll go with Swift.
I think Zeke is gonna play, so I would go Swift
as well. Higgins or Cup, PPR, Le'Veon Bell or James Robinson, PPR. So for the first one, it's Cup for me.
Yeah,
it's not really that close, to be honest. Cup's
no, it's not really that close.
A really good matchup. Also, Le'Veon Bell or James Robinson. Well, I don't think James Robinson's going to play, so it's going to be Le'Veon Bell.
If James Robinson does play, does that affect it at all?
I'll go with Robinson if he does play.
Yeah, if Robinson were to play, I think I would play him, but Le'Veon's pretty safe, especially in a PPR league. I think he's probably going to catch a couple balls. I think he probably catches more than Robinson if Robinson plays too. So I would go with Le'Veon Bell personally.
Fair. I mean, it was 2Q. Hopefully you still ended up with Pollard in your lineup, but it was 2Q last week. I did not.
It was 2Q last week. It's not 2Q this week.
Oh, this week it's definitely fair. It was 2Q last week though. I don't know how I feel about my opponent having Curtis Samuel and Anderson against Washington. Hope Godwin eats, as you say. Well, I mean, Washington's been really good against opposing wide receivers in general, so it's not like if you're just seeing it and you don't know the statistics, like
what are your other options over Curtis Samuel? Because I think I would pick Curtis Samuel, to be honest. Because
their opponent has Curtis Samuel and Anderson. My opponent having.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be too worried. Again, Washington's been pretty good against opposing receivers, so they've
been worse lately, but they're still pretty solid.
Yeah. Eagles D or Bucks. I'm going Bucks there.
Yeah, I'll go with Bucks as well. It kind of depends how your defensive scoring is formatted too, because if you get huge penalties for allowing a lot of points, then the Bucks defense is probably not going to be as good. In my league, we don't really lose that much for points. Our defenses get points based on like statistics, like sacks and interceptions and fumble recoveries. We also get points for TFLs and 3 and outs and 4th down stops too. So the Bucks defense has been just absolutely excellent from that perspective because they give up a lot of points, but they get a lot of TFLs, they get a lot of sacks, they get a lot of turnovers. So that kind of defensive scoring is definitely favors the Bucks.
Yeah, that was a terrible bundle.
I just opened one too, and I got absolutely diddly fuck out of it, basically. Yeah. But I do have enough coins now to buy the LTD Mike Evans, which I'm buying.
How many coins you got?
Like 450K.
Not bad. I think I'm at about 300 and something thousand right now.
I considered buying the Vic and playing him, but I have so I have Brady as my quarterback right now. There's like a flashback Brady, but I have a Bucks theme team, right? So he's like he has like 75 speed, literally a Tom Brady card.
I currently have the power up Lamar Jackson, and so it's very nice. Yeah. I got what's your overall right now?
93.
Holy crap! Yeah, I just got up to a 91, and I gotta finish those Christmas. So
my defense is scary good because I have my top 3 corners on a Bucks theme team. I have the Revis fully juiced with sprinter and all that stuff. The Carlton Davis fully juiced with sprinter and all that stuff, and then the Mike Evans out of position that just came out, and the Jamel Dean that just came out too. So like my corners are so good.
You got to help me set up my chems and shit soon. But yeah, we'll run squad soon.
Yeah.
Dobbins, Bell, or David Johnson flex full PPR. So Dobbins is a lock there, and then I would probably go David Johnson as my other one.
Yeah, I think that's pretty clear.
Gypsy Alpaca says flex full PPR. Antonio Brown, DJ Moore, Le'Veon Bell.
I'll go DJ Moore there.
I was gonna say AB and Moore super close. I'd probably go Moore though.
Yeah, I'll go with DJ Moore.
You absolutely wouldn't, to be honest. Like I have Swift ahead of Carson straight up. Metcalf, I
can't start Marvin Jones.
I can't either, but like I can understand the rationale, if you will, because of the Rams matchup. But either way, like Metcalf's ceiling is way too high for me to even remotely consider sitting him, even if he has like a below average game for him. Like
his floor is still higher than Marvin Jones's floor.
Yeah, 100%. Ayuk is another wide receiver I'm currently starting over Metcalf. See, like there, I would
do it. I would do it.
There, I'm okay with that because again, like Ayuk's got a much better matchup, and Ayuk has been on fire these last 7 or 8 weeks.
There's a lot of Metcalf questions, so I'm just going to go over where I have Metcalf and who I would start over him. So I have Metcalf currently at wide receiver 14, which is pretty significantly lower than he normally would be in any other matchup. I have Robert Woods at 13 ahead of him. Terry McLaurin is doubtful, I believe, but if he plays, I would start Terry McLaurin over him just because the matchup against Carolina is just so good. And then Brandon Ayuk, Mike Evans, Justin Jefferson, who already played, Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, Calvin Ridley, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, like the top guys, Allen Robinson, Tyreek Hill, and Devontae Adams. All those guys I would start over DK Metcalf. And the guys that just missed the cut for me are Adam Thielen, who already played, Deontay Johnson, DJ Moore, Jarvis Landry, Cooper Kupp, Chris Godwin, Marvin Jones, Brandon Cooks. Those are like the guys after I have Metcalf.
I can agree with that. Pick 3, Henderson, Carson, Bell, Jeff Wilson, and Gaskin, PPR. So I am going to go with the first 3 here. Wait,
I would play Jeff Wilson over Henderson.
Really, yeah? Oh, yeah. Henderson doing. Okay, let me just get the must-starts here. Carson, probably Carson, Wilson, Gaskin if he plays. If Gaskin doesn't play, I'll go Bell.
Do you think there's enough risk there with Gaskin because Ahmed is playing too? We haven't seen Gaskin coming off of an injury, or I guess he's not off an injury, but coming off the COVID list with Ahmed also on the team because Ahmed's been good. So there's a chance that they split up touches more, but based on their coaching tendencies that we've seen from them, they like having a feature back.
Yeah.
But I think Bell is more of a guarantee in terms of feature workload than Gaskin is. Even as crazy as that is to say, because Gaskin's been one of the best workload guys all season.
Yeah, no.
So I mean, it's really close between those two guys, I think, and same with Jeff Wilson too. I don't think he's any guarantee for a feature workload. I think I would go with just based on the matchups and all that kind of stuff. Gaskin's matchup is incredible against the Raiders. I think I'd go with Carson, Gaskin, and Wilson and sit Bell.
Yeah, I agree.
Because they play the Falcons, it's a tough matchup.
Will Robinson play? Only options is Connor and Gus Bus. I don't think he does play, and to be honest, if he doesn't play, I'm going Gus Bus over Connor.
Yeah.
I can't stand the way Connor's being used and how he's playing recently. Like,
I mean, he didn't play last week, and we saw Benny Snell do well in his place. Maybe Benny Snell's probably better than James Conner at this
the
point.
last time we saw Connor play, we saw a nice little 10 for 18 as well. So
yeah, wasn't it like against like the Bills or something too? Like a bad game. Yeah. A bad run defense. I mean, yeah, I don't hate Gus Bus over Connor. I think I'd go with Connor if he plays over Gus Bus, but it's not really appetizing either way.
I'm not sitting Tunyon apart from maybe the top 4 type tier. Like the last person I'd probably start over Tunyon would be like Hawkinson, and even Hawkinson versus Tunyon, they're like splitting hairs. So like Tunyon is a top 6 tight end this week. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's been so good. Like if you just take this in, okay, the amount of incompletions when targeting him is less than his touchdowns on the year. Like that's ridiculously efficient.
And another thing too is just like common sense. Who do you want to trust to get your tight end the ball in the fantasy championships? Drew Lock or Aaron Rodgers? Like sometimes fantasy isn't hard.
Yeah, I agree there. Hawk or Gronk? I'm going Gronk there. Hawk or Gronk?
I'd go with Hawkinson.
Yeah, I'd go with Hawkinson.
For pretty much the same reason I would go with Marvin Jones over Chris Godwin is the same reason I'd go Hawkinson over Gronk. It's just there's so many options on the Bucs offense. And Leonard Fournette could fall his fat ass into the end zone for 2 touchdowns. And Gronk is very much a guy who has to catch a touchdown. So
for sure. Or should I pick up Gaskin and start him over Swift? First of all, you should just pick up Gaskin regardless. I don't know why he's
whether you're going to use him or not, I would just block your opponent from getting him if you don't need him and drop I don't know if you have like Latavius, I guess you can't
backup quarterback.
Backup quarterback, backup defense, backup kicker, backup tight end, like anything like that. Drop him for Gaskin just so your opponent can't get Gaskin. But I would not start him over DeAndre Swift personally.
Yeah. Josh Allen or Tua PPR. You go Josh Allen. He led you here. His volume is way more intact. There's
gonna catch more passes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that guy's got fucking huge mitts.
He actually didn't he catch a touchdown earlier in the season?
Yeah, so did Dak.
Yeah,
mitts. Last week I needed 5 points from the Steelers defense. They got 4 and lost, but pain.
That's pain.
Oh, and then he had Kamara snap for him in the consolation just to remind him of it. Andrews or Mike G? I'm going Andrews, not close for me. I'm assuming that's Mike Gesicki.
Yeah, if Gesicki plays, he's probably a top 12 option, but I wouldn't start him over someone like Mark Andrews.
Start 3 standard: Ridley, AJ, Higgins, Davis, Jeff Wilson. I'm going Ridley.
I'm assuming that's AJ Brown and not AJ Green.
I'm going Ridley, AJ, and Corey Davis.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Man. That's actually fact.
Actually, wait. Jeff Wilson is there? I think I would. Would you start Jeff Wilson over Corey Davis?
In a standard, probably.
Yeah, in a standard, I think I would start Jeff Wilson.
Any type of PPR, I'd lean Davis, but in a standard, I'd go Wilson.
Jeff Wilson ain't going to catch a lot of passes. Jerick McKinnon's probably going to get the receiving work out of that backfield, and or Tevin Coleman, who the hell knows. But Jeff Wilson has a better shot at a touchdown than Corey Davis does, so I'll go with Corey Davis out of
those two. Man, I can't figure. Yeah, for real. I had Kamara yesterday.
He's kind of slow though, Tyler. He's only like on my squad with Sprinter and like Tampa Bay Bucks. Ken back out, he's only like 94 speed.
Oh, only 94 speed.
Yeah,
okay,
no, damn. Well, okay, my Revis is 98 speed.
Okay, fair.
The Revis card that I have, like actually, you can't complete a pass on him. Like he's ridiculous. If I put him in man, like you can't complete a pass on him.
Dude, the 95.
Moss is out, but.
Talking about speed, the 95 Derrick Henry at like 6'3", 250 pounds has like 93 speed. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I got him. The guy's juiced up. It's fun.
Alfredo had Kamara yesterday. Congrats on your championship, my dude.
Yeah, there you go. But I'm pretty sure they got start Kittle. Don't overthink that.
CJ Beathard is basically their first string quarterback. Yeah. Let's be honest. Like they're it's like. For most teams, it's like Aaron Rodgers, and then whoever their second string is. I don't even remember, Deshaun Kaiser or something. It's like way down here. For the Niners, it's like Jimmy Garoppolo, Nick Mullins, CJ Beathard. It's like they're all kind of on the same like wavelength.
Give them Zach Wilson, please.
Yeah, please give them Zach Wilson. I don't think Zach Wilson's getting to them though, unless they get up.
Either. He's going number 2 at this point, to be honest.
You think he's going higher than Fields, huh?
I have Fields over him, but with the
I don't think the Jets would pick Zach Wilson. If their choice is Darnold for another year or Zach Wilson, I don't think they'd pick Zach Wilson. I don't know why.
Oh, man, he's such a better player than Darnold. It's not even close.
It all depends what they can get for Darnold. If someone offers them a back end of the first for Darnold, you pick Zach Wilson.
Heck, you get offered a second, take that in an instant and take Wilson. Like,
yeah, I think I'd take a high. If it's a high two, I would take
a mid two, bro. Like,
I think I'd stick with Darnold for one more year if it's a mid two.
If the Bears gave you like, what would it be, the 46th overall pick? Like, I'd take that in an instant, considering that Darnold's going to be on his 5th-year option. What, this year or next year?
He's going into his 4th season after this year.
Okay, so he's got this year, last year of his rookie deal, and then his 5th-year option. So you basically got 2 years of team control. If you're the Jets and you can get a mid-second round pick and move on and take a Wilson and build around a guy like Wilson and still have them for 5 years of team control, that's worth it, in my opinion.
My buddy who I'm playing in the championships, like congratulating me on winning because I had Kamara, and I'm like, nah, like I'm trying to reverse jinx him back because he's like, congratulations on your championship, right? And I'm like, no, congratulations on your championship because I'm gonna blow this lead, kind of thing.
Hey, did you see like Scott and all of them on Twitter?
I put a video in for
same.
Yeah, he DM'd me and Notorious did one too.
Yeah, he DM'd me too. I sent that to him today.
I said like, congrats Noah on your Get Faded championship. You're welcome for the package I gave you for Christian McCaffrey. Did you see what I gave him? Probably the worst trade I've ever made in a dynasty.
Is that the carry on?
I gave him this. No, this is what I gave him for Christian McCaffrey. He gave me Christian McCaffrey, Devin Singletary, and Tom Brady. I gave him Josh Allen, the 105, which ended up being Cam Akers, DK Metcalf, and maybe I think that might have been it. No, and Joe Mixon.
Whoa!
That's what I gave him for Christian McCaffrey, Devin Singletary, and Tom Brady.
Pain.
And it's not that I was high on Singletary. I wanted Brady and McCaffrey, and Singletary was like a throw-in so that he could get the 105, I think, or Josh Allen. And I'm a rebuilding team, so I was like, I'm not a rebuilding team. I was trying to win. That's why I was like getting Brady and McCaffrey. I'm like, I want to win this year. And then McCaffrey got hurt, and so did like 90% Godwin and the rest of my team.
That's fair. Okay, wait. Let's get to the question. I personally would go Hurts. I know you go Herbert.
I'd go Herbert. I think it's too risky to trust Hurts. I think he's warranted some kind of trust, but not over someone like Herbert, who's warranted trust all season.
I mean, I personally would go with Hurts because of the rushing upside, but like if you want to play it safe there, I'm fine with going Herbert. They're in easily the same tier of quarterback.
He has a better matchup for what it's worth. Everyone loves the Cowboys matchup for Hurts, but the better matchup is Herbert against the Broncos with no corners on the opposite side. We just saw Josh Allen hang 48 on them.
And yes, it would be, in my opinion, there. Kicks.
Yes, it would be. I think Josh Allen, you have to start him. Unless you have Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes or like someone like that, which I don't know why you would. But Josh Allen's got to be in your lineup. He just has to.
Agree. Also, I said Hurts over Herbert. I actually just checked now, and I actually have Herbert one spot higher. So there you go. 2 running back and flex. Sanders, Swift, Drake, McKissick, or Woods. I would absolutely need to know scoring format here. The 2 locks are going to be Sanders.
Sanders is a lock for me,
and Swift for me.
And Woods I think is a lock as a flex.
Oh, okay, then there you go.
Okay. Sanders, Swift, and Woods.
And this is the boy Josh I was telling you about with the dominant team in my home league.
Yeah.
How do you guys think Swift will do against Tampa's D? Also against Cook only getting 15 points. I'll take that any day.
I think Swift might have that kind of stat line too, to be honest. Like 15 points, get the rushing touchdown, something like that. I think Swift has to catch some balls or he has to get into the end zone. He's not going to get a huge day on the ground because, I mean, the Bucs allow like 74 rushing yards per game.
Hey Josh, how happy are you that you're not playing me and my Kamara this week, eh? Fucking guy. If I won my semis last week, I would have played him in the championship.
I had a bunch of stuff just sell just now. I have like 560K now.
Damn. Yeah, yo, I'm definitely down to hop on later if you want. Wait, what?
Should I pick up Moss?
Yes.
I want this Evans card, dude. I want this Evans card.
Do it. Yeah, we definitely got to play later too, eh?
Facts.
Also, my brother hooked me up with a nice cigar for Christmas too. Nice.
Nice.
I'll show it on stream. You guys can have a nice look, but
Clean. I'm not a big cigar. Well, I mean, I don't smoke anything anymore since I quit smoking. I can't like smoke cigars because there's like nicotine in them. But yeah, either way, like cigar, even when I smoked, I wasn't a big smoker of cigars.
Just hopefully I don't cut my finger off on stream. Swift or Robinson? Give me Swift there, Alpy. Oh, forgot to do D's nuts question. Full point, Tunyon, Kittle, or Logan Thomas. I would actually go. Oh,
I'll pick two.
Go with the first two. Go with Kittle and Baby Kittle.
If you have Kittle, if that's a 2 tight end league and you have Kittle and Tunyon this week, that's nice. That is nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Swift or Robinson? Give me Swift there. Alpy. How do you feel about Chris Carson, Marvin Jones, and Melvin Gordon this week? I
feel great about Marvin Jones. I'll give you that. Melvin Gordon, I feel pretty good about. I think he's got a pretty solid matchup against the Panthers. Chris Carson, I don't really feel that good about, to be honest. The Rams' run defense, he could very easily get into the end zone and kind of mask that kind of. He has to score because he's not doing much on the ground against the Rams' defense, or he's got to catch some passes.
Yep, I agree. You have Andrews over Tunyon. I have Andrews like 1 or 2 spots ahead of Tunyon, but I
do have Andrews over Tunyon, yes.
But yeah, to answer the question, yes. Pain.
Oh, so he says who to play at Gesicki and Ingram.
Gesicki's questionable.
Yeah, if Gesicki plays, I think I'd play him over Ingram. Yeah, with Colt McCoy probably starting another game, I think I'd play Gesicki over Ingram.
Agreed there. Kittle, Hawkinson, or Logan Thomas.
Kittle.
I'm going Kittle. It's not like, again, it's not close for me. Pain.
I have Tyler. I have 40 out of 40 sprinter, so I get 2 plus 2 speed.
No,
maybe that's what you're missing.
Miss most of the stream. What's up, guys? Who do you think of Hurts and A-Rod? Well, you missed that exact question earlier, and it's going to be A-Rod for me. Sup, QD, Tyler? The boys. I'm playing Wilson, IU, Kittle. Should I be worried that I wouldn't really worry about that specific.
No. You got Zeke, Lamb. Okay, so if Pollard plays and he's the starter,
if Zeke doesn't play,
then you sit Jeff Wilson.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wouldn't play. I think Lamb is actually a decent like DFS play. I think he's got a pretty good lineup or a good matchup this week, but I probably wouldn't mess around with him in season long, and especially not over someone like Brandon Ayuk.
Yep, agreed. Josh Allen or Murray for quarterback. Go with Kyler there, Henry.
I want to see what this Evans has. I just bought him. I want to see what his stats are like on my team.
Gibson or DJ Moore PPR? Give me DJ Moore there because I don't expect Gibson to play.
Yeah.
Go with, assuming that Gio's basically already locked into that flex because you don't have the option. Oh, I guess you could play the 2 tight ends, but go with Kittle and Gio there. Mark, I'm assuming you're the same here.
Kittle, yes, Kittle and Gio.
Yep. Full PPR, flex, Zeke, Hilton, or Gage. Also, Josh Allen or Tannehill. Thank you. So for the first part of the question, I actually got to move Gage up in my rankings because Julio is ruled out for this game. And we saw the volume last week. It's tremendous when Julio is out.
I'm not playing over those guys, though.
Maybe Hilton, though. Actually, you know what?
I'd probably play Zeke there.
I'm playing Gage. I've seen Zeke play.
You want to go Zeke versus Gage in a bet? Seriously?
Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, let's do it. Obviously, this gets canceled if Zeke doesn't play, but
yeah. Zeke's upside is just non-existent, bro. This also assuming that Julio's out. Dobbins, Bell, or whoever starts in Dallas. If Zeke doesn't play, you play Pollard.
Yeah, Pollard's the number one if Zeke is out. If Zeke plays, then I would play Dobbins.
Exactly. 29 watching, 6 likes. Come on, guys. We're better than that. Listen to Jared. If you guys are enjoying our stream, you're new to the channel, whatever it is, you're seeing this live, make sure you hit that like button. It helps us a ton in that YouTube algorithm, getting recommended to other people and making other people's lives happy as much as we can. And if you're personally new to the channel and you're not subscribed, we're on our road to that 2.5 thousand. We're trying to get there by the start of the new year. Help us get that goal. Make sure you go like it up and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Let's get into it. Next question. Papa Lepre sliding in. What's up, fellas? Kamara gave me a better present than Notorious. I'm away to back-to-back. There you go. Papa Lepre.
Literally, Kamara's 57 bomb is probably the best present I got for Christmas this year. I'm not even capping because if you think about it from a monetary perspective, if I lose this week, I get $300 for second place. If I win this week, I get $1,500. So no one gave me a present worth that much money. So yeah, Kamara gave me the best present.
Fellas, always look forward to the live streams. Thank you so much for all the amazing content and advice. Made to the championship. I've only got a couple questions.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate you sticking around as well.
Oh my God, this Evans is gross.
Oh, you just checking the stats?
Yeah, I am.
How much did you buy him for?
He's an LTD, so he was 375.
Not bad.
But he has 96 speed, 96 excel, which is very fast for Mike Evans because Mike Evans plays faster. I don't know why. Probably because he's so tall. Oh my God, he has 99 spec catch.
At corner.
97 jumping.
Is it LTD corner or LTD receiver?
LTD receiver, and he has 97 deep route running. Oh no.
We'll get that rolling after.
He's a 97 overall with all the boosts on my team.
Damn. Are we rolling with Kyler or Hurts, or are we playing Tony Pollard if Zeke sits over DK? Started off with Ridley's last night. Wait, what? Calvin Ridley's 14.5 last night? Calvin really didn't play last night.
I think he's talking about Dalvin Cook, maybe. Yeah,
maybe.
Or Justin Jefferson, maybe. I don't
know. Regardless, okay, Kyler, you're starting over Hurts. That's not debatable. For the second part of that question, you absolutely play Tony Pollard regardless. Yes, that's one I would sit DK for. Tony Pollard without Zeke. There's not many guys in fantasy football I'm starting over that. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? If Zeke doesn't play, are you starting Pollard or are you starting DK?
If Zeke doesn't play, I would start Pollard.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
And yeah, let us know if you. Okay, yeah, he said later on Jefferson, not Ridley. Okay, perfect. Okay. So yeah, and obviously again, if Zeke does play, you start DK over him. Morning, Jets.
He is 96 catching traffic too, and 99 beat press.
Damn. That's crazy. So you're going with Swift, Jacobs, and Godwin or Jones is pretty tough. I'm personally going Godwin though. I'd go with
I'm going with Jones. I already talked about this earlier.
Fair. But the first two are locked for you too, right?
No.
Really?
No. I would play Godwin, Jones, DJ Moore.
Really?
Oh wait, hold on. We got Jacobs too.
Jacobs, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Fuck, this is hard.
I view those two running backs at the end as the lock.
Who did you say? Who were the three that you said?
Jacob, Swift, and Godwin.
Okay. Fuck, this is hard. I think I'd play both. I'd play Jones, Godwin, and Jacobs personally. I think I'd set Swift.
Fair
Swift matchup is not good. Like it's not. Neither is really Jacobs, I guess. But I guess more of a toss up between the two running backs.
That's fair.
I think Jones and Godwin have far higher ceilings than the two running backs.
Respectable. Kittle, Tunyon, or Jasicki, Gage, or Hansen, Murray, Tannehill. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. Anytime. So Kittle's going to be your tight end. For the second part, Gage easily over Hansen.
Murray.
For the third part, Murray over Tannehill. And no problem there. Center scoring, Ekeler, Swift, JT, or Bell at flex. I would want to find a way to get both Ekeler and JT in your team, to be honest. I'm going with Ekeler, but like I don't think I can sit JT. I would absolutely need to know who your other options are at your flex spot and your other RB. So Ekeler, if you can, again, if you have like, I don't know, if you had Alvin Kamara and you have like, I don't know, Derrick Henry, like who else could you realistically have? David Montgomery. Like if you have again like David Montgomery and Alvin Kamara, you have to only start one. Like, yeah, okay, you go Ekeler, but if you don't have two of those, like
it's a standard, dude. I think I'd start JT over Ekeler in a standard.
I don't know if I can, regardless.
In a standard league is a big deal for Ekeler.
The Broncos too, man.
Yeah, I guess. But
I just think he's gonna get peppered in the receiving game as well. I know it's not a PPR, but
you got to rely on touchdowns with standard scoring though. And standard, we've seen Kalen Ballage get used on the goal line and stuff. I think I would lean JT over Ekeler in a standard scoring. In any kind of PPR, I'd play Ekeler over JT. But in a standard scoring where touchdowns are your bread and butter, I think I would lean JT.
Please leave the other running backs that you're starting where you have to sit one of those guys because
if Kamara's one of those guys, you don't even need to worry about this decision because you already won anyway.
For real. So I flex a tight end, Fant, Hooper, or Ertz, or just play Corey Davis. Play Corey Davis. He's a very good option this week.
Yeah.
Bears or cards for DST. Thanks, guys. Been tuning in all season. I love the channel. Appreciate that a ton. And as to your question, I'm going with the Bears D over the cards D.
Yeah, I would go with the Bears too against the Jags.
I have Andrews at tight end. Oh yeah, you're chilling. Go with Davis though as the other. Gage or Antonio Brown. I'm very split.
I wouldn't be. I'd go Antonio Brown pretty easily.
Really, if Julio Jones plays, this is like literally like a back-to-back type in my rankings.
Like I think both games are very attractive. Obviously, right? They're the two highest paced games of the week, as I talked about on the Start Sit show. But Antonio Brown, I trust the Bucs offense to get points on the board more than I do the Falcons offense against the Chiefs defense that is much better than the Lions defense. So I'll go with Antonio Brown there.
Yep. Kittle or Gage, flex half PPR. Going with Kittle. I know I love Gage, but that's too cute to play him over Kittle.
Yeah.
I'd actually have to know who your tight end is as well, Cannon. Pick 2 wide receivers in the standard league. Davis, Metcalf, AB. Actually, yeah, I'm going Davis and Metcalf.
Oh, that's I didn't know that what Trey just said at the bottom there. Okay. Anyway, pick 2 wide receivers in the standard league. Corey Davis, Metcalf, AB. I'd go with the first 2.
Yeah. Lindsey out this week. Yep.
So but he said the question about Melvin Gordon above where he's like morning gents, full PPR, juice 3, Melvin Gordon, Marvin Jones, DJ Moore, Godwin, Jacobs are split.
No, I knew going into that question that Lindsey was out.
I didn't know that. I might have to move Melvin Gordon up a little bit because I think I had him at like 19. I'll probably move him up to like 16 or 15 or something like that. Because when Melvin Gordon is alone in that backfield, he gets a lot of work. So that definitely does help him quite a bit. For Lindsey being out, I still wouldn't start him over guys like Swift or Jacobs, but I would. They would be a lot closer.
I currently have him at 18, so like if that helps your question, I have Fournette 1 spot ahead of him.
True. You have Fournette at 17.
Yeah,
am I the higher one on Leonard Fournette? What the hell? I have him at 14.
Yeah, I mean, like I assume so. You're a Bucs fan.
But I hate Leonard Fournette.
So do I.
Leonard Fournette's ECR 9, eh? He's 9 in ECR.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. That's disgusting.
I mean, dude, the Lions are so garbage at stopping the run.
They're bad at everything.
So garbage.
They suck at everything.
The reason people think Fournette is good at football is because of games like this. He's going to have a good game against the Lions defense. And they're going to be like, oh, he's like the running back of the future of this team. It's like, no, he's not.
Running back of the future. He's like a 26-year-old washed up. Or he's not 26. What is he, like 24, 25? Either way, he's washed up.
Something like that.
Do I sit Wilson for Zeke or Pollard? Okay,
yeah.
If Zeke doesn't play.
Zeke is out. Pollard is in your lineup over Jeff Wilson.
If Zeke plays, though, I would start Wilson over both.
Yep.
Jacobs, Gordon, Bell, pick 2. I'm actually going to go with Jacobs and Gordon here. Actually, Bell versus Gordon's close, but
I don't think it's close. I think I'd go Jacobs and Gordon too.
Herbert or Tannehill? I would actually go with Herbert here. I know he's missing some weapons, but I mean, Keenan Allen and freaking Austin Ekeler is more than enough for him.
Yeah,
to be honest. David Johnson or Fournette? I would need to know the scoring format here to be. Actually, I don't know. They both catch passes. I'd go with David Johnson, but like they're close.
They're literally back to back in my rankings.
Yeah, I have David Johnson. I think
to be honest, now that I look at them, I think I'm going to move Fournette ahead of him. I think I would play Fournette over David Johnson.
I'd go with David Johnson.
They're both bad running backs, but one has a great matchup and one has an average matchup, and one's in a better offense too. So I think I'll go with Fournette.
I'll go with David Johnson. I think he catches more passes. Sorry. Like if it's a standard, I'll probably go Fournette. I know he's been getting some receiving work, but he's probably more likely to score a touchdown than David Johnson. But yeah, David Johnson or Swift. This is going to be Swift for me.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So he's officially rolled out. Then like I like Gage, but I'm not playing him over like I don't know. What was it, Kittle in that one question?
Yeah. There was some options that were. I think Antonio Brown was one of the options or something.
But yeah, okay, yeah, they officially ruled. I wasn't sure if it was just speculative rumor or if they had actually done it. So like, I guess they.
I'm just looking at questions that involve like players in this game, just because it's 12:59. Wes Mitchell says Swift or Ayuk. I would play Brandon Ayuk there, Wes.
Yep. Full PPR flex pick. Dobbins, not close for me.
Dave says pick 2 running back standard: Sanders, Swift, Jacobs, Fournette. I would actually go with Sanders and
Swift.
Sanders and Swift, yeah, I think over Jacobs slightly.
Let's get it. Steelers or Bears? Give me Steelers there.
Yep. No, I'd play the Bears. I'd play the Bears against Jacksonville over the Steelers against
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
That's fair. Who said James Robinson expected to play?
They
I saw a report.
Let me look up the status right now.
I saw a report. I think it was Roto World that said that the Jaguars are not expected to play him this week. So I can.
Jaguars injury update. James Robinson doesn't practice Friday. He's questionable versus Bears.
Apparently, Doug Marrone said he's not expected to play.
Yeah, if you don't he didn't practice all week, like at all. So that generally means he's not going to play. Plus, he has a high ankle sprain. This is an injury that sidelined Christian McCaffrey most of this year. It's an injury that sidelined Michael Thomas most of this year. It's an injury that we saw last year Alvin Kamara deal with and sidelined him for a lot of time. And same goes for Saquon Barkley. So I don't think James Robinson, like a week after getting a high ankle sprain, is just going to play on it.
Yeah, no, I fully agree.
Because it all swells up and stuff, right? Like he might have been able to, like when he got it during the game, get some like adrenaline in him and like play through it. But later in the week, his ankle's going to swell up. It's going to be more and more painful. He's not going to be able to practice, which is exactly what happened, which probably means he's not going to play.
For sure. So we left off here at Aaron. We actually got a $1.99 super chat from Walter White. Appreciate that a ton. He says, Hurts or Lamar? By the way, my other running backs are Henry and AJ. AJ, which AJ? AJ. Aaron Jones.
Jones.
Okay, so you're chilling there. Hurts or Lamar? I'm going with Lamar there. Again, Butch is the same. I'm assuming you're not changing up from that at all. Again, appreciate that.
Running backs, as if Hurts and Lamar are running backs. I just noticed that.
Yeah, that's jokes. Appreciate that $1.99 super chat as well, and good luck in your matchup. Go get that dub, brother.
Yeah.
Where do we leave off here? Okay, Aaron. Standard League, Jeff Wilson or James Robinson, also Hurts or Allen. Thanks for the help. So for the first question, again, if Robinson plays, you start him over Wilson, but I don't think he will play.
And you won't probably have that knowledge before the 425 game today with Jeff Wilson. So I think I'd probably just go with Jeff Wilson.
Yep. And also Hurts or Allen. Thanks for the help. I would go with Allen there.
Yep.
Trust the guy that got you here. Like if you had Josh Allen in your semifinal, he's probably the reason why you're in the final.
I mean, if you had Jalen Hurts in your semifinal, he's probably also the reason you're in the final.
Fair. Gaskin or Carson. If Gaskin plays, I'll go with him because the matchup's way too juicy.
Yeah.
Swift or Ayuk?
I already answered that one with Ayuk.
Yeah, please give me the scoring format in a question like that, though, because, I mean...
I don't think it matters. I think I'd play Ayuk still.
That's fair. But, like, I don't know. Half PPR, they're probably, like, back-to-back type. But, yeah, in full PPR, it's Ayuk. DK, AB, Breeze, Chark, Cooper, Gage, PPR, need 3. So I'm actually going to go out of these options. So DK is a lock in your lineup. I'm assuming that... Oh, that's Beasley. So DK...
the wrong remote like an idiot.
DK, Cooper... Ooh, AB or Breeze is close, or AB or Gage is close. Actually, you know what? Okay, it's gonna come down to AB, Beasley, or Gage for the third one, and they're literally like all like in the 25 to 30 type range for me. What are your thoughts on that?
DK and AB and Cooper would be the guys I would go with, I think.
Yeah, DK and Cooper are the locks for me. Mm-hmm. AB, Beasley, and Gage is pretty close, but yeah, I'd probably end up going with AB. I think Beasley's probably the safest of them, while Gage or AB has the most upside, if you will.
So. 1 yard run by Leonard Fournette in 2nd and 10 couldn't be Byron Leftwich. Of course, what he calls.
But yeah, Adam, to settle it out, DK, AB, Cooper. I'm agreeing there. That AB, Beasley, and Gage comparison is very close though. Pick 2 running back standard. Sanders, Swift, Jacobs, Fournette. I'm going to go with Sanders and Swift here personally.
Yeah.
Full PPR, choose one for flex. Keenan, Gage, Pollard, or Tyron Johnson if Keenan doesn't play. Okay, so if Zeke plays, I would go with Keenan. And to be honest, I'd probably... Yeah,
nice 3 and out for the Bucs offense. That's what happens when you run Leonard Fournette up the middle on 1st and 2nd down. Stupid play calling, I swear to God.
If Zeke plays, I'm going with Keenan and Gage. If Zeke doesn't play, I'm going with Keenan and Pollard.
Nice.
Now, if Keenan doesn't play, okay, there's a lot of what ifs here. keep that question and save it for tomorrow morning's live stream once we have the information regarding the injury report, and we'll for sure answer you that when we have the more knowledge available to us, because right now there's a lot of what if type scenarios in the question. Need help, Mike Davis or Le'Veon Bell at flex? I'm going with Mike Davis there. Also, let's just rush by these and get these figured out as well. And then head out here.
Oh my God, the Bucks got a first down on their first possession of the game.
The Lions?
No, the Bucks did.
What, 3rd and 10? They got one?
No, okay, so there was a sack on 3rd down, on 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 9, but there was offside on the defense, so it got to 3rd and 4, and then they just got a first down.
Pain. Need help, Mike Davis or Le'Veon Bell? Give me Mike Davis there. Let's rush through these last ones. Julio ruled out. Yep. Russell Gage, Gibson. So, okay, Kittle's one, and then the other one would be
whatever Washington running back plays would be the other.
Bingo. Wilson Jr. or Corey Davis. I would absolutely need to know your scoring format here. Please lay down.
Baby. There it is. There's like a little 30-yard play from Mikey Mike.
There you go. Assuming that's half. Oh, I have him in my one dynasty championship. Anyways, and I'm also playing against him, so I don't know what to feel about that.
There's that 99 beat press. Oh, the guy fell down. LOL.
I would absolutely need to know the scoring format here. Assuming it's half PPR, though, I'm actually gonna go with Corey Davis. Cup, Landry, Gordon in the flex. I'm going with Cooper Kupp.
Yep. No, I'd go Jarvis Landry.
Really? Over Cupp?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Against Seattle?
Seattle's been pretty decent, to be honest, against receivers lately. I think I'd go Jarvis Landry against the Jets. They've been awful against receivers.
That's fair. They've been awful against everything.
Yeah.
Kittle, Tanya Kittle.
Kittle.
Bears, Houston, Bears.
Kittle,
Thomas, Kittle. Browns against the Jets easily there.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield.
Mayfield. I have Baker Mayfield higher.
Same. Pollard. If Zeke doesn't play, you go Pollard there. Colts, Eagles. Give me the Colts D. Big Ben has looked atrocious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100% Colts D.
He loves that thumbnail. There you go.
Oh, we got a lemon.
Brady or Rogers.
Let's go.
What happened? Who
Touchdown
scored?
Gronk. Deep shot.
Nice.
Let's go. I got Tommy Boy in the league too, by the way. The league I had Kamara yesterday. I have Brady.
There you go. So. Brady. Well, I mean, it's kind of late now, but I would have said Rogers.
I would have said Rogers too.
I mean, to be fair, he asked the question after the game started.
I think, yeah, that is true. And to be also fair, I think we answered it earlier in the live stream. I swear to God, Dave was the one who asked it the first time.
Yeah, fair. Trying to make this guy cry and play against. I love that. That is an alpha mentality. Thinking of playing Gio Pollard or Bell, leaning Bell over Scary Terry up 58. Rest is Hurts. Well, Scary Terry's not playing, so
yeah, Scary Terry's doubtful. So I think you just play Bell regardless. If Terry's in there though, I would play him over Bell.
And if Zeke, to
be honest, I'd play Bell over Gio.
Yeah, same. If Zeke doesn't play, you go Pollard over both though.
Yeah,
that was a nice drive. Yeah, it was.
That was a nice drive.
Almost.
Yeah, it was almost a 3-and-out, and it was almost Byron Leftwich's stupid play calling that caused it again. Everyone's like, why is the Bucs offense so bad in the first half? It's because Byron Leftwich can't call plays. That's why. That is the reason. He runs Fournette up the middle on 1st and 2nd down on the first drive every single time. We on the first drive, 1st down, run, 2nd down, run, 3rd down, we get sacked. 3-and-out. That's what happens every time. It almost happened again.
Anytime there, Josh. PPR, choose a flex, Deontay, Jeff Wilson, DJ Moore, or Singletary. I personally would go with Jeff Wilson or DJ Moore is the second one because Deontay is my first option here. In a full PPR, I'll go Moore. So I'd go with Deontay and DJ Moore in a full PPR.
I'm winning $45 in a DFS contest right now because I have Gronk and Brady. But I mean, it's like 2 seconds into the game, and I have Gronk and Brady, so that's why.
I have a $20 bet slip,
I did. Have you ever done head-to-heads on FanDuel?
Oh, yeah.
They're actually fun, man. I like doing head-to-heads. You do like a $25 head-to-head, and you get 45 if you win. They're pretty easy, man. Like, generally speaking, like, me and you can beat a DFS player in a head-to-head. Like, they're not that
easy.
Hard to do.
There's a free play for the Titans-Packers game,
On what? FanDuel?
Yeah. Oh, no, Bet365 if you have it.
I don't have that.
Okay, so
it doesn't work for me. Every time I try and put my license in or whatever, it never lets me do it.
So basically what happens is if you place a pregame bet and receive you get a free in-play bet of $20 value. So
True.
basically, if I bet $20 on the game, like say I bet $20 on the Packers winning, if the Packers win, I get $20 added to whatever I would have won.
Okay.
It's pretty nice. Yeah, I've been making some little money. I actually got that on the Bills versus what's it called game.
I put $150 on this game.
Really?
On the over. That's what I bet. And I parlayed the Bucks money line too.
I'll tell you my
the
parlay I have right now.
But the over under in this game is 54. And I said on the start sit show, I'm like, fastest paced games of the week. I put 150 on this game, over 54, and 150. Actually, I think I bought points. I think it's 53.5 that I got. And then 150 on Chiefs Falcons over 53.5.
So I'll tell you the slip I have. So it's a $20 stake. I win $210 if I win it. So I have the Bucks money line. I just thought that was like a smash.
Yeah, it's a smash. Yeah,
easy. Cardinals money line today. Dolphins money line. The over for this game, and then the under for the Niners and Cardinals game.
Yeah.
So the under for the Niners Cardinals was like the one I'm like, oh, I don't know, but 48.5 for a team with CJ Beathard at quarterback just seemed like a lot. So
I don't know, dude. Kyler could ruin that though. On the other side of the ball, he could put up 34 points or something, and then all the Niners have to do is score like.
Well, you know what I'll do if I get to the point where I'm relying on that game, because I believe that's the last game. 16:30. Yeah, that's. Oh no, that's the second game, so I won't even know. Ooh, okay. Everybody just wish me luck regardless.
We didn't answer many Jordans.
I went Deontay and DJ Moore there in full PPR.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Deontay and DJ Moore as well.
PPR, John Newer, Goddard. Full PPR for Wilson Jr. and Corey Davis.
Yeah.
Blankenship versus Pittsburgh. Santos. The kicker help. I'll go with. Give me Rodrigo.
Yeah, give me Hot Rod.
There you go. Appreciate the $1.99 donation there from the AZ pool man. The AZ pool man. Appreciate that. Thanks. Gonna wait to put Bell. Do so, Papa. I'll see. We'll definitely hear more about that. Need 2 running back standard 6. He actually donated as well. So well, this is basically a super chat.
April Amendola was the play. First catch of the game, 15 yards.
There you go. Standard 6 points for touchdowns. Zeke, Wilson, Gallman, Connor, Davis, or Darrell Henderson. I have Pollard in case last minute Zeke sit. Okay. So yeah, if Zeke sits, Pollard's in regardless.
I'd rather play Pollard than Connor if Zeke plays.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, I would too, to be honest. Regardless, the 2 that you're going with here, if Zeke does play, are going to be Davis and Henderson, in my opinion. Actually,
I think Jeff Wilson.
Davis and Wilson.
I think the way to go with this is you have Jeff Wilson as a lock, and then depending on Zeke's availability, you play Mike Davis or Tony Pollard.
Yep.
I think that's what you do.
Yeah, that's fine. Bet MGM.
I don't think it's in Canada, is it?
I don't believe so either.
Yeah, I think that's why we don't use it, is because it's not in Canada.
But yeah, we will.
Yeah, I gotta watch my boys here so we can head out.
All right. Appreciate y'all for heading to this live stream. We will see you guys tomorrow morning prior to our Sunday live stream as always. Get those questions ready because we'll be on our grind and be able to answer that for you. So take it easy. Let's see if the Bucks can help.
Happy Boxing Day for all of you Canadians out there too.
For real.
Oh, and Matt Stafford is already limping.
Pain. Take it easy, y'all.
All right.